Hi, my name is Andriy, and I own a 2021 Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. And in 1 year, I put 30,000 miles on it, and I did long trips, I did track days. And a year ago, when I was purchasing the car, I was really looking for a video like this for someone who owns the car actually tell me an experience of going on tracks, doing long trips, and stuff like that. So now I want to share this experience with you guys, and hopefully someone will find it helpful. I went to in New Jersey to New Jersey Motorsport Parkway. I raced there, as well as Thunderhill, East and West Course, as well as Sonoma. Both are in San Francisco area where I live right now. So let's dive into questions and hopefully you enjoy it. So first question is about drive modes and how they affect the actual experience of the car. So every time when I go to a racetrack, I will always put it in dynamic mode because you have your stabilization control, your traction control is on, and that way the car feels stable. Because again, new track, you need to learn the track, but also keep in mind that if you push it hard and the car stays in the same lane, it means that all the brake pads that are working, so you'll have more wear on brake pads. But again, I think it's super safe to drive, maybe like for one session, maybe two, maybe more. Maybe you like it and you don't want to go to a race mode. But basically, dynamic mode will be great to learn a track and even to go really fast safely. Because if we're going to race mode, then yes, if we're talking about racetracks, the car is not meant to be drifty. It can power slide, but it definitely feels grippy with most of the tires. So with the race mode, you'll have a little bit more fun. Yes, and it can go quick, obviously in different modes, but more importantly, you need to be more confident in your abilities, as well as you need to know the car and what it does and how it handles and how it brakes and like how you can turn into a corner greatly. So again, the dynamic is to more like learn the track. It'll keep your revs up all the time. Again, if you're doing automatic, not pedals, then everything will be fine. Again, learn the track, then you go. If you do manual, again, you can do manual in dynamic. It's also a lot of fun. Then after you know the course and you know the track, and then you want to push it a little bit further, but you'll need to reduce your speed so that you're comfortable with the race mode, then go to race mode. Again, it's a little bit frightening when you go full power, you put all the money in the table, but it's so much fun. One more thing that I want to mention, and I had that when you have an engine check light suddenly coming up on a racetrack, then the car will turn into normal. Can you drive on a racetrack in normal? Well, technically, I think you can't, but pretty much you can. You still can have fun in normal, but then you absolutely have to go into pedals and pedal shift, because in order for in normal mode to have that boost, you need to keep your revs up to like more than like 4,000. And if you put it in automatic, it'll just drop every time when there is, I don't know, a slower corner or something like that. So don't do that. So that's about drive modes, and don't obviously use advanced efficiency. It's not for that. Engine and power. So engine and power in these cars, especially for people who are just starting or have not that much experience, let's put it that way. Non-professional racing drivers, we use power to compensate for our mistakes and bad driving. So the power is ridiculous, more than enough. Just again, I don't think that you need to do any tune. Plus, like, I'm not a huge fan of tuning, especially Italian cars. Um, in terms of like consumption, so think about it this way. So a regular race day consists of four sessions. It's a 20-minute session where you drive, and basically you will eat the whole tank in those four sessions. So your average mpg will be around four, not four, six. Yes, it'll take the entire tank. And what else? In terms of oil, uh, it can eat oil a little bit, but like not critical that you need to, again, think about it. And as much as I push the car, it never overheated. So the engine is great. Brakes, so stock brakes, they are good. Um, they're good. They're really capable. I'm talking about brake pads. Rotors are great. I haven't changed my rotors in like uh, 30,000. I already went through three sets of pads. So here are my thoughts. Stock are fine, and I think it took me like 10,000 miles before I changed them. However, if you drive fast and you go to tracks more or less, let's say, even if you go like once a month or even more, and again, you drive fast, you may have some problems. I overheated brakes. I and after you overheat brakes, so we're talking about stock brakes, right? So after overheated brakes, then you can feel some vibration whenever you just drive normally. Rotors are fine. So then after I did that with stock brakes, I changed them to Giro discs. So Giro disc, they have three types of pads for Alphas. They have a magic pad, they have a street track pad, something like that, and then kind of like a track only pad. So magic pads are great, uh, but they are not for racing. Like I think I ate them in like, I don't know, like 3 track days, something like this, like pretty quickly. Um, they're they're good, but I would still pick OEM one instead of them. Then so currently I'm running the street track or street performance, whatever they call it. Those pads are good for track, but they're horrible, horrible, horrible to drive as daily. They're squeaky. Uh, Even if you put enough heat into them. So basically, after two sessions at a racetrack, um, I heated up them like a lot, and then when I went, for a drive, they were not squeaking for like 3 hours, and then it's pretty much impossible to drive as a daily because the sound will kill you. I wrote to Girodisc about this, and they never get back to me. So I will never use Girodisc again. I'll try to figure out some different supplier for this. Another thing for brake pad sensor, the brake pad sensor in the OEM brake pads, they are embedded in the pad itself. So currently, without that sensor, time to time I have change your brake pads warning light. Again, brake pads are fine, but because the sensor is not there, it's thrown me this error. Yeah, like that. So if you occasionally drive to track, I think stock pads are fine. If you drive to track often, then you should figure out a better solution because those are not the pads that you need to run. The car can turn, it turns great. You need to, again, feel the car, you need to experience that whenever it goes. Like you don't think that it'll go and then it'll turn, but you need to push it to the limit and maybe sometimes a little bit above so you can feel like, okay, this is the spectrum that I'm working with. With handling, very important is the whole topic about tires. So tires, so again, in 30,000 miles, I changed from Pirelli P0 Corsa. I changed to Continental Extreme Contact DWC because I was doing a cross country road trip from New York to Cali. Then I changed it to Michelin Cup 2s. So it's based on different tires, handling is impacted a lot, like a lot. For example, on Continentals, I drove Continentals on a truck as well. Horrible, horrible, horrible experience. The car is undrivable. And again, you're just killing tires. And those tires are not cheap. P0 Corsas they're great tires. Again, trade wear is 60, so they're very sticky. Yes, you need to put a little bit of heat on them, but once you put that, it's gonna work. But you need to know that you'll take that tire and throw it away in like 6,000 miles. Again, if you track and do daily and then do road trips, like if you actually use the car in full spectrum. What else? What else? Yeah, and Cup 2s are great so far. This is the great balance for me between like track and normal driving. Yes, for races, it's a great tire, but it's not tire for tracks. Meaning like you can go on a track, but again, you'll just kill the tire in, I don't know, 2 days max. Well, it depends on how you drive, but that's the point. Cup 2s are great, so I'm sticking with the Cup 2s for now. And yeah, the car feels great, and it can turn. And at some point, the thing that I was talking about, the limit, like without knowing that limit, you would not know how capable that car is. And that car is so much capable that, I don't know, like 99.9% of drivers who are driving those cars. Time to time, I have a front carbon splitter. Uh, Obviously, driving more than 60 or 65 miles an hour, it'll go down for downforce, and then it'll stuck there, and then I'll have a warning saying that the aerodynamics is not, working. Usually, that's it's not an issue. Basically, you turn off the car, you turn on the car, and then it'll go away. If it doesn't, then just cruise on a highway on your way home. Again, turn off the car, turn on the car, and it'll go up. So even though most of the splitter are scratched based on the living of the world and all the curbs and this and that, it's totally fine. It is gonna fix itself. But that was the problem. That was, I think, the first problem that I had with Alpha. I think that's it. So if you have any questions, let me know in comments. You can find me on Instagram. I'll put that in description. You can ask me questions there. And yeah, we'll see you on track.